morning, good morning. Sorry, I was sharing the link around. Good morning, good morning. Alright, now I can focus. I'm sharing the link around and stuff. What's up? Alexis, good morning, bro. Devontae, what's up, dude? I remember you. What's up, bro? It's been a minute. Good to see you, man. Actually, speaking of that, I need to put this over there. And why did this have so much to the right? Is that just how that looks? Alright. Good morning, good morning. Can y'all hear music or no? It's like really low volume, like piano slash background music stuff. No? Why am I not surprised? Alright, let's fix that then. It's crazy because I can hear it so loudly in my ear. Oh, hold up, let me turn my fan down too. There we go. I always forget about that. I don't know why. I always have a second fan in my room. I don't know if other people like do that as well, but I just like the flow of air in my room. It's kind of nice. I think a lot of us too prefer if it's like cold and then you're warm too, but I definitely like the two fans. But yeah, so basically today, guys, we're just going to be focused, and I can turn this back on for a second so you can get a better look at what the hell I mean. But there's an area here highlighted. We're going to be looking under that for breaks. Of course, any early weakness here is definitely not a good sign just because we did break down yesterday. Didn't really go anywhere, though. Again, remember, we just had a lower open, and we didn't even really break the 50% of this day. It's right here. So we're still above that. Kind of expecting bounces as long as we're above that 641.88. Under 641.88, it definitely can lead us for downside towards the lower part of this candle. More or less, probably the halfway point of this candle, and then the open of that day, low of that day, so on and so on. But that's kind of like the basic idea of the game plan for direction. Dude, this song is loud as hell in my ears. I'm turning this off. Oh, that was so much better. Maybe it was just that playlist. That playlist was loud as hell. Good morning, King Carnage. Good to see you, dude. But yeah, so basically the game plan is just kind of relying on direction of the halfway point of the big ass green candle. Just because we did get a lower open kind of gives us that, oh, we have seller momentum, going into this level, but we broke it once, twice, tried a third time in pre-market, didn't really get any good follow through that held up, to the downside to give us that huge lower open. Every time we pulled back up, we're right near the previous day close, so it's not really that far of a move overnight is what I'm trying to get up. So it's not like it got any follow through from this candle. which it definitely could have. So, not just an inside bar, but it's towards the top half of this large ass green candle. So, I think that's very notable that it's holding the halfway point of said big ass green candle. So that's my thoughts on SPY. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them out, or comments or anything you want to throw out on that. If you guys have anything for Triple Q and IWM, you can throw it out as well. I didn't really update myself on these today, per usual. I mean, my IWM levels are pretty clean, but I would definitely have to add the previous day halfway point just because I don't know where that's even at. 233.33. Oh, we got it. So that would be their directional level. I don't know what their pre-market looks like. Oh, okay, they're right under it. I was going to say, if they're really far from it, probably not that worth mentioning, but they are right under it. So that could be a really big directional level for small cap plays if anybody's looking at small caps. And then on tech, while we're looking at everything, go from that. Jesus, dude, I got to zoom in. That's why I don't do double charts. I don't know how people do this shit. Go from the low to the high. It didn't really matter on direction. I'm just OCD. 571.22. So that'll be their kind of directional level. What am I doing? There we go. And you can see they're holding their lows too. Still under really notable level, really big notable levels from the previous day though. It's not like they went anywhere. And I'm pretty sure they're different than the... No, same chart as SPY. Okay, so same setup, just different levels, different numbers. But same setup with the big ass green candle to the left. Setups are completely different though. SPY is at all-time highs, or cooling off from them. Triple Q is a little bit off from them, and this is a part of what could be a second leg, so we don't know. But they are in a little bit of different spots, even though the last 2 days are exactly the same thing, basically. Because they're both big-ass green candle to the left and holding the halfway point of the previous days. So that's pretty important. And that could be a really big piece of context for today's trading to give you upside plays. But we'll see if we get that. Why did I take that time frame to this? Let's fix this now. So I just wanted to explain that daily time frame. Market opens in about a minute and a half. Good morning. Good to see you, Ayala. Good morning, Dr. J. After inside day, about 1/5 chance of an outside day. Jesus. Oh, yeah, I need to be looking at our cheat sheet. Let me pull that up. Which I really do recommend everybody to go, like, download that and save that for yourself. If you go to Levels channel, go to Pin Messages. You can see where I said buy DataJ. DataJ is a great name. It's crazy how, like, easy it is to read, too. Green, above previous day high. Green, below previous day high. Flat. Red, above, because, yeah. Green above previous day high. So this would be red below previous day high. Or above previous day low. Previous day high touch, 43%. Previous day low touch, 51%. Half gap touch, 89%. So a very high chance that we see 644 based on this. Oh, wait, I think I'm looking at the wrong one. Market is officially open. Let me fix this chart on the right. By fix, I mean let me just make it look a lot nicer to look at. There we go. Good morning, Matty Ice. Good to see you. You posted a trading floor? Okay. Yeah, I think I was reading the wrong one, actually. I see that now. Hmm. Someone remind me in like 20 minutes to chart Nike again. All right, let me read this cheat sheet. Oh, you know what my problem was, Data J? I was trying to read for this day from this day. I wasn't even thinking about today. Open below previous day low. Yeah, that's pretty obvious to me now. If previous day low is touch, previous day close touch. 94% of the time? Holy shit. Damn, these numbers are wild. It even says how many, like, days accounted for this. Watch, give it like a couple weeks, Doc J. There's gonna be people that are like, yo, can you make a video for this, Data J? I can already hear it. I think it's pretty simple to read, now that I read it correctly. Kind of just tells you, like, what's the highest probability thing a day should do, because just based on its opening statistics and kind of how it is placed based on its previous day as well. So, like, previous day, it opened below previous day high and previous day close, but it was above the lows and the open, which that one would be a hard one because of the size of yesterday's candle. So that one's a little special, but today, pretty obvious, open below previous day low. So what are the chances that it goes to the halfway point of the previous day? What are the chances that it goes to just the lows of previous day and rejects? You know, what are the probabilities of that? So it's kind of cool to read some of that. Because we talk about it in here and just, you know, so much, but it's kind of nice to see, like, raw data on it. Oh, I see. It's 94% when the gap is less than 0.2%, which is very small. Yeah, that is very small. So a low reward trade. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that wouldn't be the greatest. It'd be cool if it was more. Gap's already filled, cheat sheet done for today. Yeah. It already went and tapped it. The thing that I look at, honestly, I know I have this up still. At least let me mark this. Because I do just want to remember the gap of this day's close to this day's open. So this is halfway point of that. But the big thing to look at for today, if we do go up, is do we hit yesterday's halfway point? Because that would be seen as like a good first step. But we just cooled off from here, and we have more important news at the end of the week. So I could honestly see us cooling off, or just kind of like, you know, chilling around this level for a couple days. But who knows? And who knows how many retakes and losses of 641.80s are about to happen. And let's make sure that that is the halfway point. Okay, 641.88. That is 100% to the cent, 50% of this big ass candle. I would say this is your most important level for us to try to hold and potentially go back up. If this loses, that definitely increases probability for downside movement. And if we do go up, I'd say a good, first level to go towards would definitely be that halfway point of this red candle. So it's not really like that crazy thinking. Now, do we get the amount of movement for any of that? That's the question. That's the hard one. I think there is definitely going to be a lot of pressure on the Friday news. Just because there's more stoking of the fire of people trying to, inflation this, inflation that. And yeah, it could pressure the Powell situation and the interest rate situation, so who knows? So far, everything has been fine, but that could change. Could also just be fear to bring in, bullshit short-term dips. There's a really good conversation about this in the Discord yesterday. Woots was asking me about, like, AMD and a couple other things, and I just wanted to share my opinion on some of the things in there, so you go check that out. Trade floor is free to read. Be sure to drop a like on the stream, by the way, guys, and share the stream link around if you haven't already. If you guys need me to repeat the plan for anything short-term on SPY or Triple Q or IWM, let me know. We did go over all three in the pre-market. And then I think in the Discord I posted NVIDIA as like a second watch because Woots had already been posting AMD, so I was like, I'll let him have that. I don't want to get in the way. Because he's posting very similar levels, so I didn't have any problems. But NVIDIA, a breakdown of 179.24 could be a good bearish sign. It's already giving seller signals against the resistance here of the previous day highs. But no break of that level yet. And remember, 641.88, honestly, I should probably have this arrow here. But a safer spot, why I have it down here, is about right here. Because there's another pretty important level right here. But this one right here is the most important, like we talked about already, for SPY. So just reiterating that. Yeah, AMD is cooling the F off. They opened very high this morning. And then, honestly, if you guys want to have a good laugh, I didn't enter anything on this, but I was thinking about it towards the end of chat yesterday. And, go click on Eli Lilly and read the news feed. You'll have a good laugh. There's, like, so much shit in there. Tesla rejecting a good area too. Open not so strong so far for the market. We'll see though. Holy cost. What are you doing, dude? Another one that I didn't get in, but I kind of wanted to short was McDonald's as well, but I was like, Like saying that out loud, I was like, that doesn't feel right. Let's short McDonald's. Just doesn't feel right. So we dodged 2 bullets off of just pure intuition and fear. Totally good applications. Alright, well, we're back to that level again. Is this view fine, or do you guys just want one chart? I'm honestly kind of vibing with the two, if one of them is just the daily not moving. And let me know in the chat if you guys are watching anything else or looking at anything extra. Have any questions about any game plans we're looking at? The stock market is poised for a slightly lower opening following yesterday's retreat from Friday's rally. Wait, what is this doing? Accept and close. Oh, do I have to turn my ad blocker off? Is that why it does that? Oh my god, that's why. That was the first time it's told me that. Headlines this morning largely revolve around President Trump's firing of Fed Governor Cook amid mortgage fraud allegations, with Miss Cook insisting she will continue her duties. Oh my god, there's a pop up. There we go. On the trade front, President Trump signaled potential new trade actions last night, threatening tariffs on countries with digital service taxes and cautioning that rare earth magnet imports, that was the thing I was memeing about in chat the other night, from China could face a 200% tariff if exports do not increase. Durable orders were down. This is the other news we shared. We're down 2.8% month over month in July after a revised 9.4% drop. In June, excluding transportation, durable good orders were up 1.1% month over month, after increased a revised 0.3% in June. So it's actually good news. The key takeaway from the report that non-defense capital good orders executing aircraft at proxy for business investment increased 1.1% in July after falling 0.6% in June, making this a generally positive report. Just released, the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index was up 2.1% in June after increasing 2.8% in May. Housing Price Index was down 0.2% in June after a revised reading of down 0.1%. Okay, so nothing really crazy there. Damn, I'm kind of on it with the news the past couple of days with that. I mean, some of it's like basic, so I'll explain it, but some of it's like really confusing. I'm just like, let's just not pay attention to it. It's like a really good dodge. But some of it's pretty basic. Like PCE is very important. That's why I emphasize on that a lot when I share it. And then some of the data that affects that. Fed person lied to get better interest rates. Funny. Yeah, I know. It's insane. These are the people that are trying to help our economy. I threw up air quotes. Y'all couldn't see them, but it was around the word help. But yeah, very, very insane reading that one out loud, huh? I bet a lot of people in here didn't know that happened. I saw that the other night and I was like, no fucking way. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be like, no way. How could this ever happen? But it's just like, I don't know. The content is writing itself. This morning largely revolve around President Trump's firing of Fed Governor Cook amid mortgage fraud allegations, with Miss Cook insisting that she will continue her duties. What? No, get her the fuck out too. She's gonna continue her duty. No. Like, Elle should go to jail or be fined an insane amount of money. Sitting not like, I don't think he can vote. I don't think he's like a sitting voting president, but I could be wrong. I really haven't paid attention. But either way, that's just insane. Again, guys, just to remind everybody, as long as we hold this level, there's a good chance we have a slightly green day. But I'm not sitting here saying, oh, we're going to pump up to new all-time high today. No. I think at the very, very least, what's halfway of this to this? Because that's really what it feels like. Okay, it's the current high. That's... Okay, never mind. I was going to say that's what it feels like we could stay under and just have one of those weird mornings again. Kind of like yesterday where it was slow, and then you got to move towards the end of the day. Midday and end of day, really. But I could be wrong here. Either way, though, what I'm trying to say is it's good for bulls a little bit more than bears as long as you're holding this level. So you should get a slightly grain day if you're holding that level based on just how the candlesticks are showing up here. Again, because you got that big-ass green candle here. It makes it a lot easier. It's like you're working with just one emergent candle. Like you don't got to worry about anything else right now. It's just that candle's the priority. The direction from that candle. Short term, not looking great because of this candle here, lower open. Not that great of a day either. That was a very day to me. I think a lot of us agree. When is Nvidia earnings? What's up, Rob? Nvidia earnings are on the 27th, so tomorrow aftermarket. That's a good question too, because Nvidia's been on kind of a hot streak here on this recovery short term. See if it continues or not because of earnings. And it's funny too, because where they're placed, they could be at new all-time highs after earnings. They could be down here in the recent lows after earnings. They could literally be at the same price after. Like, they're in a really potential spot where it could move them a lot more, in my opinion. It really could put them at all-time highs. This could set the precedent too for the AMD bounce to continue bouncing, but we'll see if that continues or not. I do like the semis though, in terms of like watching them for movement. And just to remind everybody, I really do like UPS a lot. I did like Target. I think I still like Target. I can't really hate on Target, but definitely not as much as UPS. I have UPS at the very top of my list. I'd throw LW in there as well. LW is kind of a decent one, just for people who like watching slower stock picks. Nike was an older mention. I saw Woots mention it again today. This one is kind of a nice one. And then there was one more he mentioned I didn't look at. BAC. Let's look at that. So I don't mind looking at things that I really haven't been looking at, so I'd love to know. Where is BAC sitting? Okay. Damn, it is like in that territory where it's like, okay, if y'all hold here, y'all might actually keep going. Okay, I can see why he's looking at that. That's not a bad one. He's looking at the potential of the cup and handle. But that is not a bad look. I've been watching Coin and Tesla. Coin here had an inside... I mean, the whole fucking market had an inside bar. I don't know why I keep saying that to y'all. Like, it isn't already obvious to you. But it's still sitting in its lows of this potential basing. Now, I don't know if it's going to lead to a new low and it's just drop, base, drop. I don't know if this is going to hold and then pick back up. But either way, I like it for movement. Kind of like what we were talking about with the semis. Except semis have some earnings volatility coming. And then Tesla, which actually Tesla's done a fucking great job this week. Even after this candle, they did a good job of getting into the 350s almost, which is kind of where I said they should go this week. But I was not expecting this candle to happen Friday. So I can't sit here and be like, oh my god, did I call the $30 move on Tesla? And like, nah. It's a little less than that. Oh, we're on the spot. Tobias. I hope it keeps going for you, honestly. Tesla's been fun to watch. I missed out on it because of the Friday candle, and then I wasn't here, but very, very nice movement so far. They bounced off the bottom of the range into the kind of the high of their current range very quickly, over 2 days, basically. I wouldn't even count today's session as part of it. Great time to join the stream when I'm glazing a player in. Guys, they are breaking 641.88. Remember, we said this is the more aggressive level for sellers to step in on. We can see that because of the daily. It's the middle point of that large-ass green candle. So, potentially a spot where shorts could really pick up on this dip. Would not be shocked by that. And again, it's crazy because we're only about 19 minutes into the day. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream, guys. Share the stream link around if you haven't already. If you guys have any questions or comments or just want to engage, feel free to. When you are glazing the only play I am in. Long-term average in account. Now that's good, though. I hope you do great on Tesla. You'll hear me glaze Tesla a lot, but I'm going to be realistic when it looks like shit. Like right now, I wouldn't be shocked if it slows down the rest of the week. Unless the market helps it. Just because it did kind of bounce from the bottom to the top of its current range literally within 2 trading days. Friday and then Monday. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla relaxes. I think they've earned it after that bounce from the lows. But like I said, if market just starts shooting up, I don't think there's anything that can stop Tesla from also just continuing on. Breaking that resistance, because every range is meant to be broken, so not going to sit there with a closed mindset and say it can't. They broke the halfway point of previous, I keep saying previous day, of the large ass green candle. We'll see if they retake this, but you'd want to see a basing hold this now that we've broken it. It kind of initiated, oh shit, there could be sellers here. So you want to look for some better basing or a higher low of that basing. Now that we've done that. That's why I set that safer level at 641.29, because I was like, I had it set already. I was like, I can't really delete this. Just because that other level I think is more important. But I think that was a good rule. Good little condition. If it looks like shit, please do ping me on Discord, LOL. I am so busy, it's insane. I mean, I can give you my short-term thoughts on it. I just kind of gave you, like, commentary, but what I meant by that is, like, there's a really big range of a large, like, move down and a move up here. That's, like, right here. It's a border. And they have the same thing right under their feet. So they right at their head, right at their feet. And they've been doing a good job of just kind of sticking to the range. I don't want to sit here and be like, it's only bulls, because sitting here saying higher lows, there's also some good lower highs within here that haven't really broken yet. But this has started changing recently. So if you look here, you have a... I'm not trying to be weird with all these stupid lines, but this is kind of your trend here. Now you see how nothing has changed yet. Nothing has truly changed. We have a higher low trying to hold. We'll see if it gets another initiation from that. It does. Then you get a higher low from that. Then it gets a little funky here, but this could just be seen as grabbing liquidity. And then they went back up, and this is the first time... Now you can see they've been building higher lows. That's not an issue for them. They've been building lower highs. But this is the first time... I'm not trying to draw all this junk. This is the first time, though, where they actually broke a recent high. And that's very, very important. So anytime you guys see this, this is very basic, just trend line drawing. I'm not trying to be weird with it, but you're just going from the high to the open of the last green candle, if you're looking at a high, and then you extend that over, which in this case is going to be fucking impossible. Oh, there we go. So that would be what you want to see break and hold for continuation. And sometimes you even see something like this where it breaks it and retakes it for a liquidity grab, because then it would be a little bit too obvious and everybody's in longs, and then, yeah, that's not fun. But yeah. Right now, what I was saying, though, is it's kind of up against that ceiling where it's been bumping its head a bunch, or away from. But this is the first time where they've actually built another high... What am I doing? Another higher low, and they've broken another high here recently. So I'm kind of looking to see, now that we've done this... Well, I guess that is what I'm looking at. Let me delete all this junk now. So pretty much looking to hold this, what I just drew for you. Just because this is where they broke that higher low trend. I mean, lower high trend. Liquidity grab. I mean, I guess this area is pretty important too, because this is where they decided to hold the liquidity grab, since now that we know that's what it is. And yeah. That's why I said I would be surprised if they cool off, because they've bounced their head against us already, but I guess this would be the time to go break it. So it's not looking that bad right now, but I'd like to see the market support this move. If everything else looks like shit and Tesla's on its own, it's not going to be a long-lasting move. It could definitely go up a couple days without the market, but it's just not going to be a long-lasting move. It might even defeat some of the impact of the move. But we'll see. Market is getting a bounce from that. Like I said, it's a little bit of a safer spot down there, and they decided to hold it at the halfway point of the large-ass green candle. And just, you're going to hear me say that a lot today. Yo, what's up, Lag to Death? Good to see you, man. Sorry, I've been yapping for a minute. Good to see your name, dude. Always happy to see Lag to Death in chat. Yeah, the weekly made me all exited, and the small cap plays need to be monitored so much. But then again, the 10-year looks a bit like Tesla, LOL. Not sure it's good. Do you mainly just watch the 10-year when you're watching yields? I'm just a speck of dust right now. Come on, man. I need that Lag to Death energy in here. Everybody's tired. Which, fair enough. Sending psychic attacks to Tobias as we speak. Oh, physic attacks. Dude, I shit you not, man. I don't know, and this is just some weird superstition of mine right now, but I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter how many times I pick up my earphones, so like my earphones for like when I listen to like computer audio, and I shit you not, every time I pick them up, I always pick up the left one with my right hand and the other one with my other hand. And it's every time I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm always having to look at the letters to be like, all right, which one's which? Because when I put them in, you can instantly tell, oh, that's not right. And I shit you not, like 9 times out of 10, I won't say 10 out of 10 because it's definitely not that much, but 9 times out of 10, I am grabbing the wrong one. It doesn't matter how I set them down. I could plan it out and I'd still grab the fucking wrong one. I don't know what it is. It's been freaking me out the past couple days though, because I'm like, man, if I was to flip a quarter, would I get heads 20 times in a row? Probably not. That's what it feels like. So Tobias, you think, kind of agreeing with my point from yesterday with your yield information, but would you say once the cut or relief of the cut finally comes out, that's when we see a dip in the market, not before? You'd say we keep getting this kind of slow, weird, just kind of grind up kind of move until we get that? Couple dips in between if anything comes out, of course. If there's data that comes out, it's like, oh shit, inflation's back, of course we're going to see a dip. But as far as data goes, as long as it stays in line, that's what we should get. Robert, you and me both. How is Robert Taylor doing? Wait, yeah, where is Sand Dollar with the... Oh. Well, he's in chat. He said AMD 155 puts out of position at 55% gains for now, relocating to my favorite Blast Cafe. What a legend. And then he said Neo has been on a streak. Neo? That's a name I haven't heard in forever. Wait, what the fuck? What is Neo doing? Wait, actually, though, what's happening with Neo? Why are they going up? Yeah. What's going on? See, I just asked that. The new variant called the we gotta look this up. Control C. We're looking this up. I have to know. What does this piece of... Wait, I can't even find a picture of it. Huh? Well, that can't be it. Oh, okay. JP Morgan upgraded them. They got a couple upgrades, actually. This is a new reason. That's what I want to see. ES8 SUV by Neo. This? I mean, I'm sorry. Doesn't that just look like a stretched out SUV Tesla? This is the hype? This was the initial hype? There's more hype now, but this was the... I mean, I won't lie. Some of these pictures look kind of nice. Like, that doesn't look too bad. That just makes me want to think of, like, BMW because the colors, though. Like i8 colors. Dude, why does this car look like 3 other car companies made this? But that can't be the case because it's China. I don't know. Y'all rate this out of 10. 0 being poop, 10 being it's a god tier car. Or SUV, I should say. Who would have thought Neo was coming back in the big 2025? I used to be a really big fan of this. I mean, not at these prices. We were in on the first hype, but when it first had this hype, at like 28. 28 was like a pretty popular number in my chat. And then afterwards, I know a lot of people like stayed in it and just kept holding shares of it, but that's sketchy. Could be a good look at though. I mean, I don't know. Car companies are, you know, a little crazier. Correct. China is good at stealing ideas. They're the best. They invented it. What's a Neo Civic gang? Respect. Yeah, where are my Honda fans at? Dude, the Tesla monthly looks wild. This is the end of this month, too. Or we're getting close to it. We need to do that more. Check the monthlies. Look at the weekly on that, too. It's just curling up, looking like it wants to explode. It's probably making Tobias so happy hearing that. I don't know what to, well, like I said, we got to get past that ceiling first. But yeah. Not bad picks by old Frankie, huh? I can't believe we said we looked at Neo in 2025. That's pretty impressive. What's everyone in here looking at? Are you guys just chilling at work? You guys just relaxing? What's everyone doing? Give me a vibe check. It's been 33 minutes from the open, and all we have done is break and retake the halfway point of the big-ass green candle. So kind of probability says we should go up and smack the halfway point of the red candle, which is 643.80s. But I would like us to get over 642.69 first, which I think is just an emerging candle. I don't think that's any special level. I'm pretty sure that's this. Yeah, it is. I just don't have it marked on this chart because this is just for like a quick close-up. This is like with every level on it. I guess I could zoom in a little more. So yeah, I'd like us to get over this, but us doing this is already a really good condition for bulls. It just needs that oomph. Oh, and I didn't even read out contracts if it does do anything cool. If we do get over this level, I would definitely stick to as close to at the money as you can. These contracts are actually not that bad today. But the further you go out, the more of a wasteland it becomes. With SPY, you really got to stick to really close to at the money. With SPX, you can get a little bit looser, but I would definitely stick to that. Don't go further than 0.10 gamma rule. Anything lower than 0.10 gamma on a same-day SPX scalp contract is just honestly going to make you want to hurt yourself, so just don't even bother. And the higher you go, the more expensive it's going to be, so it will move more, but that can also play to the both ends of the trade. Feels good when you're winning. It feels like hell when you're losing. So, just quick SPX tip for anybody who is doing that. I know some of you can't help it. Trim long guards. Is it an EV? Yeah, it's an EV. Yeah, those are EV. It's Neo. It's kind of their idea, their thing. They were actually they used to be named. I remember way back in the day, like all over stock twits and all over all the messaging boards. Everybody would be like, "Bro, this is the Tesla killer, bro. This is the Tesla killer." Honestly, I think the one that most impressed me across the entire globe was the Warren Buffett company. I think it was, is it BYD, Robert? I think Robert Taylor would know. He's got pretty deep divots in his brain. Matty Ice, and now it's Rivian. Rivian's doing a good job. I haven't been checking Rivian. I can't really give a recent opinion on them. That was my older opinion on them, is they're doing decent. You just can't count them out because of who they're connected to. That is one thing I'll say about them. You just can't count out a company like Rivian. As much as people want to. Yeah, the China giant. There you go. Yeah, BYD. The Warren Buffett one is crazy. That one honestly killed some of the China market because they were literally just dominating everybody. They were doing good prices, or not good price. I don't know what good prices are, but cheaper prices than their competition and better vehicles, which is just really hard to beat. Oh, Warren Buffett knows what he's freaking doing, man. We don't got to talk about the Activision deal and all the trades on that crap. EVs are just so lame to me. No, I'm not saying like that they weren't lame. I was just saying like they really aren't doing a bad job. China EV's been in a pricing war for a few years now. Warren Buffett, man. You just can't stop glazing that, man. I almost don't even care about the whole Activision thing because of how like crazy some of these trades he's done. Oh, it wasn't Warren Buffett who made those deals. It was his younger workers. They were doing it. Yeah. Warren Buffett let somebody work on hundreds of millions of dollars of deals with his best friend's company, Bill Gates. I'll never forget that one, but BYD is an impress. They need to do a documentary on that. Where's the Netflix documentary at? There is Sand Dollar. There we go. There it is, Robert. That's what we were waiting for. It's funny, dude, because you really could just follow this man on like all these trades blindly, and you'd probably be doing pretty fine. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's just crazy that you probably could have. We were just talking about some of the EVs in Neo as well, Sandollar, because I saw your other post. Dude, good. Are these both plays you were in? I mean, I know you're in Oklo because you're always in Oklo. But were you in this? I'm guessing is an energy company? It looks like. I wanted to say uranium, and I was like, wait a minute. Dude, those are both on fire. One of them's a bullish kicker. The other one's just blasting new highs, no problem. Oh, it was nuclear. LEU. Shoosh. Dude, Sandollar, round of applause to you, man. Seriously, let's get some emojis in chat or something. Sandollar is like, we don't really like to call them call outs, but this man is kind of calling out like every day or every other day. And there's just like some super simple swings we could have taken with him. We should do that. Just make an account just strictly for blindly following Sandollar, but don't tell him.
just to like not put that extra pressure on them. Just be like, yeah, man, haha. Got a side account that's blowing up more than your main account because of Sand Dollar. Oh, he already knows LEU. Look at this, man. Sand Dollar has mad aura. If Sand Dollar's typing, it's either an image that looks like AI created it, or he's calling out a banger that's about to be up like 14% the next day. Like, the stock price is going to be up 14%, not your play. No, seriously, dude. Thank you, Sand Dollar. And really, really, really clean post, too. I was liking the higher lows on the... I look at your Oklo like a lot now just because of how much you post it. And I was really liking those higher lows as well when I saw you mention it. Because sometimes when you post it, I'm just like, all right, let's get in the head of Sand Dollar. Why does he like it? And I just try to, like, I don't know, trust it a little bit more. Therefore, when you post it, I'm like, okay, bet. I see why he likes it. I'm getting in. And then when Sand Dollar wakes up the next day, blowing up chat with, like, gains on Oklo, you know, I could join him. But more or less, I've been doing it for, like, warm-ups because it's really nice to go through those setups because he posts a lot. Rob posts some. There's honestly a bunch of people who post, like, just really good tickers, and then you go chart them on your own, and it just gives you a really good potential setup. That's what I've been enjoying doing. Picked up shares at 177 3 weeks back. Oh, on LEU. What a legend. Well, just like with the Bears to the downside, breaking this one level just wasn't enough for them. Same side for the Bulls here. Getting over this level just wasn't enough. They don't have any follow-through on anything. We're getting the most bullshit closes on each of these and each time towards the end of it. Not looking too hot for this range, but we definitely know our range is sticking. We know between here and here there's something. But like I thought, it looks like we are just kind of slowing down, building up liquidity before a bigger move. It really feels like the beginning of yesterday, too. Which, I'm not complaining about that. We actually got some movement towards the end, but the beginning wasn't the greatest. So, I could see where some of the hate came from. It's always when the pacing is slow. 2 weeks ago. No, you're good, dude. The timing isn't whatever. We just care about your success. I don't care about that. Good shit, though. $10 like the grandfather of our chat. Blessing us with plays and wishing us luck. Runner stopped, Maddie. Are you on NASDAQ or what are you doing? Or ES? Yeah, MES trimmed 4 out of 6, last 2 stop for break even, entered after the retake of previous day low. Gee, look at you. Yeah, we haven't got any good follow through yet, but looks like you did your best with what you had. We could just also get the most boring grind up ever into the 644s from here too. Now, I mean, it is over that level now. This does free up. This is the best look we've had over 642.69 today. Why do I still have Tesla Daily on the left? I was kind of enjoying the SPY on the left. Kind of reminds you, like, okay, directionally I should still be going up. You know, kind of reminding yourself of BB theory the whole time you're looking at this chart. Does anybody not understand that? Because I just want to make sure we're all clear on that. If you're looking at this, you should be thinking of order of operations. It's just kind of a good reminder. Like, oh, okay, this is where we opened. This is what we've done. Okay, this is what we should do. So if anything falls out of that, we can understand, okay, today's not the day. Not bad, though. Good hold of the halfway point of the big-ass green candle. See if we can make it up to the halfway point of the red candle. Just a little some, but yes, no follow through. The new low day was a nice try. Yeah, it really was. That break and then like, just kidding. I've been doing that a lot more too. If I have another important level, just to make that make sense to anybody who is looking at this right side chart, this is the important level we're looking at for downside. But it's more of a condition because we have another level here, so it's just kind of extra and like info there. Like, okay, it broke that. Let's see if we can break this too, or retest that. You know, just to give yourself a safer approach. Just because we literally opened right near where it could definitely break down from. So every time we do that, I like to give myself a little bit of extra room, because it might not be that hard to break that, just that one level. So I like to give myself more room. We are halfway between the previous day control point and 2 day ago. I do it too when there's like a reason. Like there's a big reason a lot of people should still have this halfway point marked. I mean, this day didn't even touch it, you know? It's like we didn't even go to it yet. So I like your reasoning on that because it had an inside bar. Kind of have that perimeter of like, okay, well, I'll probably keep that further one marked just in case I need to. Because in that case, we wouldn't even have this marked. You'd just have this open chart, and it's like, what the hell? You'd think it still needs to drop more. But in reality, we do have a reaction sitting here at 641.88. The more we sit over this level, the better this is for bulls so far, guys. If they do another move like this, though, where they're just holding liquidity there to bring it back down, that would be evil. Good mention, though, Dr. J. That was very good info. Thanks for the likes on the stream, guys. Make sure to like the stream if you haven't already. Share the stream link around. If you guys have any questions or just want to ask something or engage, feel free to. Some wicking action already. What went from our best attempt above that level to, oh shit, are we slowing down? Very indecisive candle before that last candle. Then the red candle there. A little bit of a slowdown. Still holding the 642.69 beyond all that, which is crazy. There's a lot of weakness that showed up there. Could be a mix of hesitation of buyers not wanting to be that first guy who's wrong. Could also just be liquidity being made there. people constantly switching sides, creating that liquidity for the chart to actually finally move. So still a lot more bullish than bearish as of right here, right now, but a little cautious because of those candles. Carter. Yeah, for real. Just go up and touch it real quick. Damn. You can reject after. I'll be honest, the fact that it didn't break right there gives me more confidence that it probably will go smack PDCP. Well, we still got a little bit of time on this 5-minute candle, but if this candle holds like it is now, the fact that it didn't break down after all those recent candles there definitely gives me that assumption that that was definitely liquidity being made. The indecision of everybody not understanding if it was going up or not. You and me both know that that's a bullish area, but a lot of people just see those candles and are like, oh shit. But they're not, you know, there's no validation beyond that yet. Beyond the oh shit candles. That makes sense. Slow stair step up, yeah. It might do that. It might do that. We did talk about that. Definitely could. But at least we have it in our brain in case we're just sitting in a position. So far, though, not looking bad. Like I said, this candle has a little bit to go. About 1:45. It did a big chunk of the work on this candle already. It just needs to get that continuation now. It's already done everything else. If this fails, like, I don't even know what to say after that. If this fails, you might as well just wait a while. Good rule of thumb. Also, I really hope some of you guys take on my challenge and see what you can do with trying to only take one trade per phase of the day. Tops. So, again, you're not going to do that every day. So, you're not looking to trade 3 times a day, but trying not to mix it more than one into one phase of the day would be the challenge. Love that rule? Yeah, I hope more people follow it because I didn't even think about it, but that's what I've been doing. And then I started, like, looking at my trades, like, wait a minute. This would be a little fun little question to ask people. Plus, it'll start making you remember, too, what even is that? You know, what are the 3 parts of the day? I'm not trying to sound smart by saying 3 faces of the day, but that's just what we labeled it. So if I do sound stupid, that is why. But yeah, it's just splitting the day up into 3 parts based on certain times. Kind of uses the theoretical probability kind of thinking that we already use in most of the system. Which, again, if you guys are in chat and have access to the BB3 playlist, please take your time to actually rewatch that or watch it again or whatever you got to do, because it's the meat and bones of everything that this system is. You know, people are always like looking for easy examples and stuff, and that's great, but it's kind of nice to understand it on your own too. And there's so many cool things people have done from that. You know, once they've learned it from themselves, they find these little things that work for them, and then they just bring it back into the chat. There's plenty of things that people like Leland, Kevo, Frankie username. Like there's so many people. I can't even name everybody because there's just so many. But there's so many different things that people have found on their own. You know, React I can think of just off the top of my head, but just like the 15-minute works for me, and I can still use the same. He's not using anything different than us. Just using a different time frame. Like he found his thing that works. His spot that he can just have that he thinks he has an advantage in because he understands it well, and that's what most of you should be going for. Having like a baseline understanding of the system, and then doing things on your own. Really, I mean, not really trying to step outside of your comfortability zones, but it's just nice that you have that baseline. You have something to fall back to. It's not falling back to nothing. Some people in chat use 9EMA for short-term stuff. Some people use middle VWAP, and that's all great, but none of it's baseline. You know, that's all extra stuff on the side. And that's fine. That's the whole point of it. To have that extra indication or that extra confirmation of something. Oh, my bad, Lag. I didn't even know you messaged me, dude. How much can I donate to you on your YouTube stream? Dude, you don't gotta do all that. She heard us, Carter. She heard us plotting on her. Actually, it wasn't really her downfall. We were plotting on her success, and she heard us. It's reverse psychology. You gotta not tell the chart you care about it going up or down. I don't even care about this chart. Gaps up $1. Back walking the dog. Okay, good. You didn't hear what I said then. Good. Oh. I was saving a link. I'll delete it. I'm sorry. I'll delete it. Where is the... Oh. It's DBC supremacy? Oh, you're one of those. I don't have any hate towards any anime. I love them all. Now, to be fair, I haven't watched all of Dragon Ball. I watched, like, when he was a kid. Whatever that one is. It's like the first one, the original beginning. And then I need to watch whatever the second one is, but I'm confused on what the hell the second one is in the series and where I can even watch that. Because I swear some of it's not even on Crunchyroll. And I don't care about watching the, like, summarized... I know there's, like, a summarized version of it. I don't even care about that. I'll watch filler. I don't even care. I just watched One Piece. I could handle anything. I watched Naruto have fucking, like... 65 plus filler episodes in one season or one arc. Japan's entire economy on Goku. That's good. I do need to watch more DBZ though. But I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I wouldn't watch that. I'm into this other stuff. I watch a lot of different ones. Mainly action ones though. I'm not really a big dweeb like some people are. I saw one decently dweeby one, and I was like, eh. Don't need it again. What's up, Tobias? Good to see you, man. I was honestly holding my breath until you got back. Posted a free site on the floor. Is my chat putting me on right now? Whoa, 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 whoa. Totally not trying this right now. Okay, reading your instructions first, though. I have a pop-up blocker on. I don't have any pop-ups. Alright, so what's the second one in the series, then? What's the one after Goku's a kid? I'm pretty sure it's the one where he jumps into that thing and trains for like 6 billion years, it feels like. Yeah, that's T-Bone. That's honestly my goal. I want to do that eventually. I don't know how I'm going to watch that because I think that's only on Hulu or some shit. I'm going to have to get someone's Hulu login in one day. But yeah, I do need to watch Bleach down there though, because I've heard that I need to watch that one if I've seen, because I've seen Naruto, I've seen One Piece. I can see the hype behind DBZ, and I've seen clips of Bleach. I'm like, oh shit, that's tough. And then I stop myself from watching more because I'm like, okay, don't get too hooked. Price action's so slow, I might acquire some tendies. I don't blame you. To be fair, this is the kind of day we mostly should get after a day like this. I did say we will most likely get just a slightly green day. So far, we're correct in the first hour, but that doesn't mean we're correct all day. That's why I like to think of the 3 phases of the day thing. Like, this might just be the boring part of the day, and then lunchtime or the last 2 hours of the day might be this super exciting, good volume part of the day that actually has volatility and stuff. Right here, though, it definitely looks like there's a lot of hesitation and confusion in the market. There's a lot of indecision. You can see it candle to candle. I liked this, and I really liked this attempt here. And it's still not over. This is still probably the best attempt I think the chart has at going a single direction to the upside in this example. But need follow through. I'm not sure what the market will do on rate cut, if all honesty, when nations go... Oh, you're answering me from earlier. When nations go after the central bankers, it's often a predicate for inflation or stagnation. Stagnation is honestly the worst. That's worse than inflation. I can't stand that word. So my USA exposure is smaller than normal, the smallest in ever. Normally 90% USA exposure since stonks, but now about 25%. So you're less exposed to the American market due to the predicated for stagnation. Predictor, I think is what he meant. I was explaining stagnation to someone in my family the other day. I was like, yeah, man, this is actually worse than inflation. This is when inflation stays and when prices go back down or some of them cool off. Like, some of these other prices stay the same. Like, let's say you paid $1 for an egg back in the day, and then inflation happened and years go by and inflation cools down, and now you pay $1.50 for that egg. That's 50 cents worth of leftover inflation. And it's actually the worst thing you can expect. And that's why a lot of people nowadays are like, well, that's because the dollar was this back then, and now it's this. The dollar has a lot to play into it, too, but so do the overall stagnation of prices. It's pretty bad. And if that's the case, people will be pissed. But when is the consumer not ever pissed? Especially in the USA. I don't know how it works over there in Europe. In Europe land. Nobody answered my Dragon Ball question. I'll have to look for myself. Wait, how did you have such quick access to this, Robert? What do you watch? I gotta know now. This is a crazy ass site. It really does have everything.
Why do I have like a search, like I have search history? Have I used this site before and just never like clicked to what it was? Say again, my dog goes loud. They so strict with the laws. You gotta watch DBZ on the hub at this point. Well, he sent me this thing, but I was just asking what was the second one in line after Dragon Ball? Is it Dragon Ball Z? And then there's like 6 other ones here that I don't know. I just want to watch the canon Dragon Ball. I don't care about the side crap. Unless it's that good. Z? Okay. What's after Z? Because I got GT, Kai, Daima, Ball Heroes, Ball Super, Ball Z Kai, the final chapter. Like, what is all this? This shit's confusing. To Super, to Daima. Okay, fair enough. I can see that now. Okay, Ball, Z, Daima, Super. Okay, bet. Damn. Robert put us on, bro. We'll see if the first episode works. Verifying you are a human. This may take a few seconds. Oh no. It's gonna figure me out. Oh, I think I need to disable ad blocker. Oh, I see why he said that now. Nothing's popping up for me. What the hell? I can't watch the first episode? Oh wait, it's on Crunchyroll. Fuck that. I can watch it on there. I'm stupid. Oh, you know what? I actually did start Dragon Ball Z. But I only got to the part where Goku meets his brother, but I don't think he figures out that they're brothers yet. Or something like that. Oh, I got a long way to go. It says episode 230. Who the hell clicked on that? What is that? Okay, that was someone else on my account then, because I definitely didn't do that. Alright, well, I'll start it. I'll start it. I'm not scared. Me? Never. It says maybe. He said maybe it's a sign you to keep paying for anime, bro. I don't mind because I pay for me and my brother's account. He watches it a lot. He's the one who got me into One Piece because I was seeing clips of it, but I was like honestly one of those people that was like scared to start it because it's so big and it's like part of me was like, bro, why is this so big? Like, why is it over 1,100 episodes or whatever it is now? I think it's like near 1,200 now. So that, but then I was like, you know what? I saw Naruto and Shippuden, and that was like literally like over 1,000 episodes combined. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. And I'm not joking. Within 40 episodes, I was hooked. It didn't take that long. But One Piece is genuinely the best thing I've ever laid eyes on. Like, the story itself is just so fucking insane. And that's coming from someone who used to glaze, like, Shippuden and all that. I would say Shippuden used to definitely be, like, the thing I'd be like, this is the best. But now that I've seen a lot more and a lot of other smaller ones, like, this is definitely not the best. I got One Piece up there now.
Oh, I'm sure DBZ will hook me still, because I was pretty hooked even on my friend that got me onto it. I was watching the first Dragon Ball and I was like, dude, I kept bragging about it and glazing it, and I was like, dude, I like it a lot. And he told me that wasn't even like the good version of Dragon, like that it's so boring compared to like better Dragon Ball. So I was like, damn. So I already think Dragon Ball will hook me. I'm not even scared of that one. Once we're done though, we do gotta try out Bleach. Like what's his name said. Any thoughts on Boruto? I've honestly never seen it, but the clips I've seen almost always piss me off, and I don't know why. There's like a lot of clips of like that I've seen of him, and he's like talking shit about his own dad in some parts. He's like, "What's my dad's weakness?" and this and that. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know. I haven't watched it, so I can't be a true hater. But a lot of the clips I've seen, I definitely was like, "What the hell am I looking at?" But it could just be the animation that's pissing me off. I have no idea. I haven't watched it, so I really can't say. But Naruto and Shippuden were pretty god tier. By the end of it, I'm sure I'll have One Piece, Shippuden, DBZ, and Bleach probably all near the same level because I just like anime. You didn't give it a chance? Yeah. Your friends is that's what everyone I see says that's seen it. They're always like defending it. I'm because there's always people hating on it, and then you see people defending it. You can kind of tell who's actually seen it. So maybe it is one of those things you just have to see for yourself. But I remember seeing clips of their like whatever the first ninja rank is, like Genin or whatever, when they go up. And I remember they were trying to get they were showing the tournament or whatever for like Boruto, and it was like no one's life was at risk or anything. But in Naruto, like literally people were almost dying just to get this rank. Like what? So that got me. And then some of the disrespect of like all the kids is just crazy. Like there's always like a weird clip I see where there's like a kid who's like related to someone from the first anime, and they have something to say. It's like they weren't that strong, or they were weak, or this or that. It's like what are you talking about? That always pisses me off. DBZ got me into my rock era. Their OSTs, even on the games, are top tier. I've heard the games are really top tier. I've never played one, but I've seen people play them like at a friend's house and stuff. They look insane. You've got a guy flying in the sky shooting like a comet at people. Shooting laser beams. But yeah, I see that a lot too, T-Bone. I don't think I will give it a try, to be honest with you. Like, once you finish Naruto and then you watch Shippuden, it's like, alright, I am completed. I don't need more. That was good. I don't need more than that. I don't need to know what his kid's life was like. I don't care. It's not Naruto, it's Boruto's dad. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy work. My bad. Boruto's dad, Shippuden. Boruto's dad, Shippuden. That's crazy. I'm sorry, by the way, to people who don't give a shit about this. Price action isn't moving that much. We're just holding the uptrend levels still, but not really getting any follow through. Same story as before. Tech kind of in the same seat. They're holding good levels, like short-term levels, but not really getting any good follow through. IWM seed got a little bit of movement. Oh no, they didn't. They're still stuck basically inside of their previous day. SPX just holding over previous day low and close. Stopped out. Watch it fly. Yeah. That'd be fucking awesome. No, I'm going to stick with my guns there. I really do think the next time it slows up and breaks down again, that's probably it. Because this was a really good, from here to here, this retake. And then from the retake up to this point, even to this recent candle right here, like, this is all not that bad looking. If it was to fail this after all that hard work, I'd have to assume we aren't getting a better move till lunchtime. And if we don't get a move at lunchtime, then I'll assume we don't get it to the last 2 hours of the day. And if we don't get that, then fuck, tomorrow should be a higher potential day, just because no movement. But that's worst case scenario. It's not even 10 o'clock yet. But definitely wanted to at least review that, because it is definitely interesting how we're not pushing off that. This could be a real slowdown then. Plus, it isn't the first time we've struggled here. This has happened before. And you saw the result of that. 640s down into almost 630s. Pretty crazy. Over a very short period of time. Trying to be consistent with your stops no matter what. It's better than not, because you're going to be in more situations than not. Like, let's say you're not having like a consistent way of cutting like you do now. You're going to be in these situations where you're always second guessing yourself, doubting yourself. I should have done this. I should have done that. But now that you're in this situation, you don't have all those variables. It's just, nope, that's what it was. That's what I'm doing. It's just cold, hard facts to yourself. And in more times than not, you're going to be happy with yourself. In that other situation where you got all those other variables, you're going to be a lot more pissed. You're going to be pissed off at every trade. Because it's just extra shit to deal about, to think about. Wow, get out of my head, Frank. I think Barney Rubble could whip Naruto. Whoa. Not actually, very possible. We got to remember the Flintstones era was like they were literally built different. I mean, they used dinosaurs as tools. Don't question a person who's using a dinosaur like it's a plaything. You might actually not be that wrong with that take. At first I was like, whoa, that's a hot take. Then I just thought about it longer. It's easy to add to losers if you're not consistent with stops. Dude, Dr. J's always got the best way of saying things. Those were some bars. Easy to add losers if you're not consistent with stops. Whew. I had to reread it, man. Damn, Bull is down 0.005 cents today, guys. Oh, it's flat, 0 cents. Somebody bought 0.005 cents worth. Then when they hit, you think you're a king. Peasant mentality. It really is like that, though. Like, you'll have these moments where you're like, ha! I knew it! But they just don't, like... I don't know. They don't hold you up. I think that consistent mindset's definitely worth it. And thank you for sharing that, too, Carter. It really do be like that, though. That's a good way of putting that. See if we get the breakdown of 642.69, like we're kind of intending for after the failed follow through. Y'all want to know something y'all could look for quick overnight swings? Just for a quick cheatsy little tool? And it's not anything hidden. This is something that's been well known in the community for forever. But if you just add the 9 and the 21 EMA, your goal... Or let me try to find a better example first. These are all horrible examples. That's a better one. Alright, that's kind of a decent one. So basically what you're looking for is a retention trade. So retention is basically just coming back up to something. So like if it pulls back down, it's really far. This is it having retention back towards the 9 EMA. So what you're looking for is a cross of any kind of bullish pattern. You want a bullish pattern and then a close over the 9. So if this was to like somehow produce like a huge green candle today, that wouldn't be too bad because that'd be a good single soldier pattern. It started over the previous day's close and it will finish over the previous day's high. So that would be a single soldier pattern if that was to happen. Let's just say it did though. That would be a good initial sign that you could have short-term buyers towards the 21. Now, this one's a little bit too far, so I don't know if I'd aim all the way towards that one in this example, but somewhere in the middle would be nice. And you could just look for those really quickly. You just smack them on your thing, go through a bunch of dailies. You can literally just add a watch list, turn on your, make this code say 1, make that one say 1, and then go through them like this and just spam through them. And you could do it to the downside as well. But you always want to go from one to the other, and you have to have a candle pattern. There has to be something that says, hey, we were buying, hey, we were selling, and then you get that close over. So it's a very tedious pick, but you have really high probability overnight swings with this, like this one. And if you want to go like into a next step of it, you could really go deeper. You could add the 55, which is a lot farther in a lot of instances. Like I bet you on that TTD example, it's a lot farther up. Yeah, a lot farther up. So in other examples, you're above both of these, you could make it towards that one. And just keep it at 3 for now. Maybe even just keep it at the 9 and the 21. But it's a really good just overnight swing strat. This is one of the oldest strategies in my community. It's one of the first strategies I ever was like really big into, besides, of course, the BB system with like pre-market high and pre-market low and all that junk. All that junk. But really easy to do. Just throw on your screen and just start looking through them. But sometimes you can do it without the EMAs. You could start just looking for the buy the dip method, where you're looking for like a low to be made and then any kind of move up, impulse move, and then you look for a higher low of that impulse move. If you can get like a candlestick pattern that holds like that, that could be your way in. A lot of the time you want to look for like a hammer in that example, but that could also be how you do it without even having them on. It's kind of good practice to do with them on, though, at first, like training wheels, and then working your way into not really using them. But it doesn't hurt to use them, not really complaining about it. But I would definitely take advantage of that if you don't know what, like, any kind of swing strategies. That's a very basic one. It's very effective. And I like it because it's methodical. Like, you aren't just finding 50 setups a day. Like, you might find 2. And then the next day you're going to find like 20 because of how the market's trending. You know, so you'll have to kind of pick which ones you like the most, or which candlestick pattern was actually effective, or which one you actually spotted, or, you know. It's just kind of fun to go through them too. But yeah, I definitely recommend that for anybody who likes to look for like overnight swing plays. Like I would definitely be looking for that on your daily time frame charts. Some people in my chat too like to use the monthly and the weekly to kind of find a setup, and then they use the daily to trade it. So that could also be your way in. Yeah, hey assistant, clip this. Hey assistant, go get my Chick-fil-A. That was a funny comment. Oh wait, I'm glad you said that. I can add the stream marker. Thank you, Linwood. I needed to start doing that. By the way, if you guys didn't notice, I am not trying to make as many of them public because, I mean, sometimes it's just kind of nice to have, stuff for you guys. But I would definitely check out the one I posted yesterday. It's also in the Levels channel. So check that out. Just a part of the stream. It was probably the only part of the stream that was like where we had movement in the market and we were covering something that made sense. Someone in the chat had like taken a couple trades, and I just wanted to cover some of the context before they were in the trade to kind of see if they were thinking about that too, and they were. So it's nice. Shout out to Dividend Bull. But yeah. So definitely check that out if you're in Levels channel or Trading Videos channel. Definitely go to those if you see me post a new one in there. There'll be unlisted videos, so you don't even have to like or comment. You could just use it to watch it. That's all that's there for. I don't really plan to make those public. They'll just be for you guys. I'm gonna not be right back. Like 2 hours of strem is still happening. I hope you get some rest, lag. Tesla keeps acting up like this. We could be looking at a retest away from that resistance. Bro, that was a huge dodge. Every time I check this, I'm like, damn. It still looked good for shorts. That's the crazy part. Huge move on that chart, though. Inside bar XOM so far. Hammer at support on Costco on the daily so far. Gotta say, so far it is only 10 o'clock. It's weird. Most of these streams, too, recently I've been saying, like, these streams are going by so quick. This one's going by relatively slower. Let's see here. Again, I think we do get a pullback from 640 to 269 just because they did all that hard work and didn't even move off of that support. If they do this here, I guess this could be their last chance because they are trying to hold as a potential higher low over that. But definitely a lot of hesitant and just indecisive trading around that level regardless. Which, in my opinion, adds to that pullback theory. Not hurt it. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think if you ever have a differing opinion or maybe you're saying the same thing as me. Damn. That new post into two bias channel is crazy. How's everyone in the stream? Are you guys just chilling? You guys at work? I don't blame you if you fell asleep. Still holding the halfway point of the big ass green candle though. At work, chilling. Another first session with really small range of the previous day close. Yeah, what's the cheat sheet say about previous day close fuckery? 15-minute inside bar watching to see how it reacts to when if it breaks. Bets. I'll just join you on that. We'll just join Guard and Trader on that inside bar watch. I'm not doing much on the 5-minute. Man, the 15 minutes so chill to watch. Candlestick patterns are like 6,000 times easier to recognize. This is more of a 50-50 candle than everyone realizes. The fact that it has an even-sided wick on each side and an even body is pretty 50-50. Bullish, decent, 50-50. Still figuring it out. Short-term upward pressure and then indecision. Which actually makes sense from the levels we're seeing because we have a good level here that should give us short-term upward pressure. No follow-through though, so we're definitely seeing that indecision on the daily as well. It makes it a lot more chill to read. Rah. I needed that. Does Oxy fit the mold for the overnight swing? Let's look, brother. I was about to click the wrong button. I was like, what am I doing? Oh, like returning to the EMA, the retention trade. I mean, it's not what you want to go for. It's just something you want to spot. Like, you want to be able to spot this. Okay, it has room to go back down to this. So if you do, like, let's say it's like a ticker you're trading, you can remind yourself like, oh, okay, it does kind of have room to go down a little bit more today. So if you're ever looking like a downside trade in that example, but not necessarily for an overnight swing. Unless you're talking about back here. Like, you kind of want to see it like curl. Like, that's not a bad look. That's just using them all, though. Like, this isn't that bad. It just kind of sucks. It happens so damn quick. It's very, like, small moments. You're not going to get, like, 3 days of... I mean, maybe on some of them. I know McDonald's has definitely had its time doing that. But yeah, it's just something you can look at for quick overnight moves. But yeah, no, I don't know if Oxy would not fit the criteria. Retention, yes. Like, coming back to the 9, I could definitely see that. Even have whatever this is right here. From high to the open. So it looks like you could even set up a trade where it's like, if it breaks this, it's going down to that. Like, that's the kind of thinking you could have. So, not 100% relying on it's going to go back down to that. Maybe throwing in some other TA with that, just so you're not relying on just a pullback. But that is interesting. I haven't looked at Oxy in forever. Like, how does UPS look with this? Okay, yeah, they need time. But you can kind of see that in the price action too. Like, you got a good low here. Decent move up, nothing crazy. So let's go from like the low, just the high to that first move. And you can see we're still above the 50% of that, but it's not really looking that crazy. So it looks like as long as they hold this, they can move up. If they break this, there's a chance we get another move like this where it could be a liquidity grab or pullback. Most likely pullback because it would be the second or third time failing. 15-minute breaking down a little bit. See if we get actual close under. Good update by Garden letting us know about that inside bar. And for a while, this one was kind of inside of that one too. BLSH. Bolsh. Those are some serious candles. You are not lying. If I find an example, then I'll share it with you. I haven't really seen one today. To be fair, too, you should wait to look at these like the last like 2 hours of the day before the chart's a little bit more settled. Like this one's trying. Like paper, that's a decent example. If this was closing like a green candle today, looking pretty decent, you could almost see that as like a potential 3-bar play closing above that, working towards this. See, they did it all in one move this day. Jesus. They said, we want to touch it now. I have an entire playlist on this, too. I know I've probably said this a million times. I'm not trying to burn a hole in y'all's ear or anything, but there's actually a pretty large playlist on this. It's one of my older ones. Yeah, this one. Swing trading videos. And a lot of them are literally this strat. Some of them, too, even use the swing trading info to help with the smaller time frame info. And then I always give credit to this guy because I used to do this strat on my own. I didn't really know that this was a thing, but then I found this guy's channel and he's gone now, rest in peace, but like his shit opened my eyes to how things actually are. It's like, holy crap. And these guys' videos are like straight to the point. I always give this guy credit because if anybody gave me motivation behind anything, it would definitely be this guy. Because he doesn't like use any of the levels we use or anything. It's not like that. But his like theoretical way of thinking about things is very similar to ours. Like when he's looking for bullish candle over level, he's going to next level. He's not thinking about the top of the fucking chart or going to all-time highs. He's thinking about that very next high, just stuff like that. It's just really interesting. And then the way he utilizes candlestick patterns, and he also, just like us, gives credit to the Japanese rice traders, which I think is super fucking cool, because a lot of people don't even know about that. The Japanese rice trading story is just crazy, and that's how we have candlestick patterns and just all this stuff, and it's just amazing. These people were literally making their own chart for rice trading and figured out all these candlestick patterns you and me utilize to this day. They figured that out before fucking screens. It's crazy. Oh, look like one Black Crow possible candlestick pattern. No, yeah, that was fine. That I saw what you were looking at there. I just meant like for a good overnight swing, that's not really one you want to take a risk on, but that is a good look. You are looking at it correctly. You got a slow down pattern, and you have a lot of room down to that 9 EMA. That might be one though that you add to like a day trading watch list. Like, okay, let me scalp this under this, and this is where it should go towards, and that kind of thinking. But to fit that criteria, I definitely would not overnight swing that. And maybe it does go down. I'm not saying that it can't. I'm just saying based on the criteria, you definitely don't want to do that. Sorry, I'm trying to breathe at the same time. But yeah, if you find another one, Linwood, let me know. I'm always happy to look at those with you. And if I find one, I'll let you know. I'm not expecting there to be a lot today, though, just because we are in one of those days where we just had a really big reaction, and we're kind of slowing down from it. So a lot of the charts are going to look a lot like SPY in a sense compared to its 9 EMA. And that's strictly something I would do on the daily time frame. If you want to bring that to the smaller time frames, you can. That strategy of just looking for one EMA to the next, but it's up to you. Why is this so many months? There we go. I would definitely say the 9, though. People say the 8 or the 9. They're so close it doesn't even matter. Those are both very important, like first priority EMAs. Your 9 EMA. That's like your trigger. Everything else is just a target or a setup around that. Dude, see, like this one is kind of like the opposite of your thinking, Linwood. Like this one's not bad either. The reason I don't like Oxy is because it's like not that far, and it's Oxy. You don't really just want to like first red candle buy it, or short it. But this one, it's got a lot of selling. It's a pretty decent distance from it. I mean, not that far, but it's not supposed to be that far from it. And you have a hammer. Now, I don't know if I'd be like, buy this right now. You might want to see more price action or even wait till that next day. And if you get a good open that next day, maybe you understand, oh, this has possibility of giving me upside momentum towards its 9 EMA. So this could even be a really good watch for people tomorrow. Hey, guys, let's watch cost. If I get a good green open or I like how it's holding over my previous day's context, then, we're looking good. And at that point, I don't know if I'd aim at the 9 EMA. You and me both know that we have some pretty important levels here. We get the 50% of that candle to make it really easy on ourselves. I don't know where this one is. I'm more or less just testing. Okay, it's basically that level. So that would be it. And then I guess we would draw today's once this day was done. But beyond that, yeah, we're in the understanding of, okay, well, if I get some decent price action here or some higher lows building up, like I could start working towards that 9 EMA, but what are my first targets? Maybe probably about 950 or 940, 950, I should say. Then you see where we can get to that 9 EMA. So that's like a similar, like opposite look from the one you were looking at too. It's a similar look, I guess. Also trying to make shit up. It's like really easy to sit here and be like, well, this could work, that could work, but I really am trying to stick to the criteria of what I've actually practiced. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I guess that could work, theoretically that makes sense. It's just like, I don't know. I don't see the point in that kind of thinking because it's a waste of time. It's not something I've practiced. This one's interesting. Netflix holding a higher low with an inside bar is kind of but it just broke an inside bar breakout, moved up and above both EMAs. I don't know where the 55 is on that, but that could be where it's headed if it's not already bumping its head on it. Walmart could be a good future look just because it's so far from its 9. That's a decent one, breaking its 9 and 21 after some pretty large red candles. Procter & Gamble, though, that one's a little tricky. I would say one other thing, too, is reading your context. Like, don't just... Like, it's good to look at these these recent few candles and just be like, all right, what is it doing based on this and this? But it's also good to kind of understand, what did it do before it got here? You know, therefore, you're not trying to short something that's already done that, you know, or you're not trying to long something that's already done that move 4 times in a row and it's just in the same range, you know? Oh, no, you're good, Linwood. Yeah, cost is a little costly, but the template, though, is good to go over. Thank you for listening in on that. If I find others or you find others, though, let me know. I'm always happy to look at whatever. And if you want to check out some of those older swing trading videos, they're old, but every single concept still hits to this day. Like, nothing has changed from those videos. You're still looking for just break over one or the other. I think in some of those videos, too, you even see me use volume, which I know some of you still like to use, which is fine. So that's also there. I've always gone back and been like, I need to make another one of these. But then I rewatch the ones I have, and I'm like, I really don't. Because I just still trade the same exact way. Still look at things the same way. Still post something like, okay, well, if this is over this, I'm looking at this. You know, there's always a condition. So it's never like an on-the-fly thinking. That's just bad. Always reading the context. I'd say that's something that's definitely helped a lot the past year and a half or so. Reading the context of what recently happened to possibly give yourself a better situation ahead. If I'm looking at something that's been holding for 3 weeks and it broke it and retook it, dude, I'm buying calls on that. Like, that's just something I've seen 100 times. Didn't get it, but JOBY on a trend. Might check ACHR. Oh, we know ACHR. I think that's one you shared before. Or one of them. And yeah, we know Joby. Good mentions, though, by Sandollar. Yeah, we need to get Sandollar's watch list. I'm sure there's some crazy tickers on there. Crazy good. Lucrative tickers. That's a good little ring to it. BE Energy. Here, let me check this out in a minute. I'm going to go grab some water. I just finished it. I'm going to come back and check these out. Everybody walk around for a second. If you've just been sitting here with me. Get that blood flowing. Get some water. Hydrate. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. J-O-B-Y. Bearish rejection. Whoops. ACHR. There's a lot of shit here. I'm just gonna start from over here. And then he said BE Energy. I don't really have any short-term thoughts about those first two. Or this one. This one's just like it's gonna keep going. What is this on the monthly? Okay. Okay. Not much I can do with that chart. That's an insane move, though. From under 20 to over 50. That's not even the full year. That's just part of the year. That's actually nuts. VIX is holding near 15. I couldn't even tell you the last time I looked at VIX. It is fun, though. I was doing this, like... I call it, like, a history lesson, but it's kind of fun. If you, like, look up each spike, like, the... whatever the biggest spike is, or a green candle, maybe... Look up the date, and then look up, like, whatever was happening in the world or the market. And a lot of the time you find, like, a really, really big piece of news. Which, duh, makes sense, but it's just kind of fun to do. Because there's some really old ones you can look back at and be like, oh my god. But yeah, so this it just tells us that we haven't had a lot of bad news or crazy news come out in a while. Like, really bad. To increase volatility and to a point where it's like, what the fuck's going on? Interesting, though. I haven't looked at that in a while. BSX. Here we go. Here's something we can work with. The other ones I feel like I've already left the train station. Or, like, the first two look like they need more time. And then BE's just flying. So I can't really do much with that one. Maybe I should add some monthly emergings on this. This chart's wild. Let's just see. What does it look like? I was gonna say, there's like, it's like that other chart. There's like a lot of in between. It is holding above, though. And this is the first cooldown from its high, so we can actually make this a lot easier. We'll do just like we did on the other charts. We'll go from high to low. Market. Delete. So you can see, kind of need to get over that. And then high to low. Whoa, what the hell? Where'd my music go? Come back. And then I need to do this one. This one already hit that. Retook, lost, kind of sitting under it now. So it's kind of in a weird spot because it's already hit this target once. Already kind of went up and bumped its head against this. So this could be seen as a lower high until proven otherwise under this level. If it gets over that, though, it's definitely holding up from here. But I don't know. That one definitely is a little bit sketchier. That was a little 50-50 in my opinion. Just because it's already came up once and hit this, it doesn't have to do it again. It's already done it. So this actually could be seen as a bearish retest down towards this area, and then maybe you could look at some dip buys if it tries to hold it. That's how that looks to me, at least. Let's see our little EMAs. What do they look like? Yeah. Nothing crazy. And then what were these other ones? CTVA, nice reversal after the earnings. CTVA. Sativa. Okay, that's not a bad one. Nice hammer. Holding up above both the EMAs. Let's see what we got chart-wise. Wow. First screen kind of way down here. I might even leave that fib up. And then you got... This is ugly. What does that look like? I'm just going to cheat. When I say cheat, I mean just making it easier. That was nice, though. So there is actually a 50% there as from this dip. And then you have the bottom from the first dip. It's like stage 1. Lost, retook, nice higher lows. Crazy reaction. I don't know what that's from, but that's a wild day of price action. I mean, Jesus. Oh, they're appointing someone new to their... Okay. Maybe that's it. The fear of, oh shit, to, oh, never mind, we're good. Guess NQ's waiting on a video on unemployment because it ain't doing nothing. No, yeah, I think you're right. Well, to be honest, I think honestly we're rating on PCE on Friday, and then like you said, Nvidia earnings, which I think is very, very important, not just for tech but for semi strength as well. But I agree. I think we're just waiting on data and Nvidia, so I think that's why we're not getting as spectacular sessions. I know I'm trying my best to keep you entertained while we look at some of this stuff or just talk about whatever, but I have to agree. I think we're just waiting on important, like something to actually give us something. And I had a nice breakdown in the chat at the end of the day yesterday. But yeah. It's like boring TA, but it's just accurate. It's like, yeah, just waiting. I do think that there is still some price action left over for today on the intraday that could happen, just because this is the extent of our day so far from here to here. So I do think maybe not now, but it's the end of the first phase of the day. So I think in about 30 minutes when the lunch session happens, between then and about 1 CST or 2 EST, that would be your second phase of the day, and then your last 2 hours of the day. So I would say in one of those last two parts of the day that I just explained would be where there could be some leftover movement for the day, similar to how yesterday panned out, where there was a little bit of movement lunchtime, and then there was a lot more movement in the last 2 hours of the day, but very one directional. So I think that's what a lot of us in here are looking for. But outside of that, the macro side of things, the bigger time frame side of things, definitely telling us that probably are waiting for data, like Chris in here said. RKT, I can look at RKT. Dude, they've been on a tear streak. Do you have a chart that hasn't been on a tear streak? Sandollar's the king of finding these. If you told me RKT was under 20, I wouldn't have believed you. Is this the one that I was glazing? Or no, it was Redfin. Redfin is the one I used to glaze. I like this one a lot. I stand by this company because I witnessed firsthand as a customer them literally warn people, hey, houses are about to become so fucking expensive. Don't buy these houses. It'd like show markup prices. It'd give advice. Like Redfin was on top of their game helping the consumer. I don't know about now, but in the times of housing going through the roof, Redfin was hooking it up. Telling people, hey, shit's going to cost. You know, to people who might be oblivious to it. I thought that was very, very cool. And yeah, RKT is, I think Leland likes this one too a lot, doesn't he? It's on your rip-torn watch list sheet. Yeah, I'd throw those in together. RKT and Redfin, those both look good. And I'm a huge fan of both, so why not? I still have this at the top of my list. UPS is still my favorite. Lamb Weston up there in the top 2. Those would still be my favorite too. Very boring stock picks. And DDD, but this is like you were potentially throwing money into a burn pit. So this is like the riskiest one, but this is another one I kind of like. But this is like a super long-term thing, and who knows if the company's even afloat then. 3D printing has a very slow-paced market right now. I just like this one because they're the most exposed to everything, considering 3D printing isn't just one thing. It's not just for making plastic figures for people online. There are 100,000 uses for 3D printing in so many different fields. So I just think it's a super, super complex and slow sector, I guess you could call it. Netflix has been interesting me too. It's got the higher load retake again here. It's just this candle is like, fuck. I hate this candle. Inside bar with a indecisive candle. Even legs on both sides. Small body. Not the greatest of candles. If anything, that's slowing down. But it's in the best spot for a buy the dip move. So that's the only thing that's like, eh. Plus, this one's very costly, so. Better to aim small and miss small, not to blow a trade that large. Poor Walmart. Nope, not Intel. I want to go to Coin. I'll never not watch Coin, so if you're in my chat, I watch Coin a lot. Besides Spy, which everyone knows I watch Spy the most. Tesla's ready to pump. ONDS, your kind of stock. ONDS. Let's see. My kind of stock, you asshole. What is this? Oh, because it had drone in it? Is that why you said that? Autonomous systems, company design so much. Okay, let's go to Google and make sense of this. Autonomous drone and wireless technology. And they help the government. Why does this feel like a low-key Palantir kind of play? This is exactly the kind of shit I would hear about Palantir before Palantir blew up. That will forever be our greatest win ever. I don't think I'll top that one. And there were a ton of fucking people in chat who were in on it too on their own accord. So that was also cool. Drones of the Predator type? Oh yes, we love that. Damn, this might be a decent one to be looking at then. Here, let's make a new watch list that's just only the best shit ever. Best shit ever. So top of the list, UPS, because I'm biased. Second in the list, also because of bias, LW. We won't put DDD in there yet. She needs to be like at the very bottom of the list, like the bottom of the barrel. We like Target. We liked Nike, but Nike's kind of left the train station. She might even be going for more. But I like to post these for like super, super cheap plays. And then honestly, we might have to throw ONDS in here. Alright, so best shit ever watch list officially going. These will be plays that are like you could own these as shares as well, kind of play. And very slow, just kind of owning it to own it, DCA type play where you're dollar cost averaging over a longer period of time, not just here's $1,000. Like, no, maybe just put like 100 in, and then next month do 100, and then next month do 100, so on and so on. Bull needs to be on that list. I'm trying to remind myself what else needs to be on that list. Bull 6,000% needs to be on this list. We've been in that since like 1190s or something. Oh, I keep getting sucked into looking at this chart too. I don't know who brings this up, but you keep sucking me into looking at Whirlpool. Why does General Electric actually look pretty good right now? It's like a morning star holding the EMAs. Okay, I need to lower this. There we go. Tired of zooming in. Ooh, AMAT's got a couple candles working towards EMA retention. 166s. Chewy looks pretty good too. What the hell? IWM 4-bar play, whether it's continuation or failure. Are you on smaller time frames or larger time frames? I'm assuming smaller. Oh wait, maybe I was wrong. Oh, is this what you're talking about? Oh, so good to stretch. Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, that's what I thought after I figured I was wrong. I was like, wait a minute, that can't be right. But yeah, I think you're right on that. Potential 4-bar. Just because it's still under this, it's still over the 50%. It's just kind of in that range. Everything in between this is just micromanaging. But yeah, good looks. No, that's accurate. Trying to think of what the hell else I need to add to this list. I know that, dude, there's something I'm forgetting. We need to find another one that's kind of cheap. Like this one's cheap. This one's cheap. This is cheap in, relation to where it could be. This one's cheap in relation to where it could be. And so is this, but these are all pretty costly for some people, unless they're dollar cost averaging over a long period of time. We need to find another banger that's not super expensive. Like, I wish LW was like a $15 stock. I wish that for everybody. Not now, but, You know how it be. Excuse me. If Boeing can bounce back after killing people every other year, UNH can bounce back. Fucked up logic, but that's pretty true. I wish McDonald's was cheaper too. This is a banger ass company. Whether you like their food or not. Or another Nike play could be good, because Nike was honestly super profitable. Very quickly. Just get like a play that moves super quick. Can't really just guess those, though. Damn, I was about to say Snow could be our next short, but then I saw it has earnings. And every time I see a gap, man, you just gotta... Look at that. I don't gotta draw anything. That is so clean. Yeah, for commons. But it can be, like, options as well, but trying to go for commons on that one, yeah. It'd be cool to have more shares plays in the chat. Because in the past, we've done Palantir, we've done ET, we've done... Personally, I did PayPal very heavily. That was very successful to 80s, but I guess I still like PayPal. Let me put that in there. But it doesn't fit the criteria of what I was wanting to pick for, like, cheaper plays. But that is definitely one that I like still a lot. I'd have to look around more, honestly. But that's a pretty decent start. 6. None of them are over 100. Target's the closest, but to be honest, it's Target. Like, I don't even understand why it's still here. This one really does baffle me. I've charted it pretty heavily, as you can see. I'll go to a chart that has nothing on it. Like, if you just look at its past, there's a lot of consolidation. After it hit this high, did that correction, all that stuff. It's got a lot sitting between there, where it's sat here for a long time, over multiple years. That's where it sat last time before launching. And if you look over, it's kind of where we're at again now. So it's at a part of the chart where you could say risk reward is in favor of a long-term investor. Maybe not short-term. This might be a few years. It might be 3 years before you see it back up in the 180s. Who knows? But that's almost double the stock price. Like, it's not a bad trade-off. Just got to be patient. So that's why I like stocks like Target. UPS is a big one for me too. Mike's been a big motivation for me for liking this one so much. LW, we talked about that one in the past because it's related to McDonald's and they're kind of the same thing, just good risk reward for a long-term trader. PayPal, same story. They still have majority market share of the payment processing across the globe, which is a crazy thing to have majority of. And then ONDS is the last one we added just recently from Sandollar, but he's really good at stock picks, so I'm not ignoring him on this one, and he chose this specifically for me, so I like it. Plus, it's drones, and it does have a kind of a Palantir vibe to it, which we all know what Palantir did. And this was probably our last like super banger play. We've done Nike as well, but this is definitely the last one we did that was just insane. I haven't even deleted levels because I just didn't want to disrespect the glory of this chart. But yeah, also good motivation to remind yourself like how long things can take. Because you'll sit there and be like, why aren't I getting rich? And it's only been like a month since you bought whatever you were looking at. So it's also just a good reminder. But yeah, if you guys have any stock picks, let me know. I'd love to look at whatever. D-Nut is also another one that I kind of like. This is Krispy Kreme, right? Yeah, Krispy Kreme. But I was just surprised they were this low. And also I just thought the ticker was kind of funny. DNUT, like donut. It's kind of funny how that works out. And I really do like Webull. I think Webull is kind of a banger play. We've been in this one for a while in the chat, though, so it's not news to anybody in here. But we've had this since, like, just under 12. And it's still just sitting in this long-ass range, and I expect it to do it for a while. Between 10 and about 18. But I like it. It's not going to be as, like, exciting to watch like anybody who might be in like a Robinhood, for instance. Just a good like similar stock. But I think this is a good potential one. It's Webull. They're not going anywhere. But yeah, so that's kind of the thinking behind those 6. But if you guys have any other ones, let me know. But the 5 of these I have a lot of thinking behind. This is definitely one I need to read more on, but a lot of the other ones have a lot of really good thinking behind them. And we've had decent success with a lot of stock picks. It's just we don't do them a lot. And I think it's for that reason. Because I think if you sit here and are trying to pick out like 50 stocks every freaking month, you're not really doing yourself any favors. You kind of like ruin the point of like picking out what you're looking at and then actually getting into it. Because now you're dividing up your focus and your interest and everything. And it's just, what is the point? So we've done really good on them. I don't like to brag, but we also just don't sit here and do them all the time. And there's plenty others too from people in chat that I could think of. Like there's plenty Leland has done in the past too. UPST was a pretty crazy one in the past. I always thought that was honestly one of the craziest ones. Way back in the day, Roku was a big one in chat. Like way back in the day when Roku was actually kind of popping. So it's just different eras. And not dividing up your focus. I really am big on that. Oh, my bad. I just left this BS chart on your screen. Man, you really could just clip the very beginning of stream where I said, I could see us just having a slight green day today, and just cut it right there. At least for the first part of the day. Do you have any questions or anything? I think I'm going to end the stream soon. But I was happy to sit here and talk about a bunch of different things. Honestly, that was fun to go through the stock picks and all the other stuff earlier. the EMA thing, all that good shit. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to say, feel free to drop it in now. I do appreciate all the likes on the stream. Anybody sharing the stream link, I appreciate you. And yeah, if you guys have anything, let me know. I'm just chilling, sitting here. If not, I'll end it and we'll just go chill, hang out. All right, well, I'm going to end the stream there. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'll see you guys later. Hopefully the lunchtime session's a little bit more exciting here now that it's about to start. Still have a higher low holding a bullish level, but not much movement after that. But we'll see if we get any more movement into the highs. 644 is right there, 645 just above it. And very close to all-time highs still, so not like we're that far off. But I do appreciate everybody for tuning into the stream, dropping likes, engaging. Any conversations we had, appreciate that. And I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day.